Guys, it's Ani here, and at the time of me recording this video, 2021 is just around the corner. I wanted to start off the new year by talking about starter Pokemon. These are the Pokemon that you get at the beginning of your adventure in nearly every main series Pokemon game. And in my opinion, I like some of them more than others, so I wanted to break them down in a tier list to see which ones I like the best and which ones I think need some improvement. So let's get right into the video. Hey guys, it's Ani here, welcome back, and we're now on the computer. Let's start up the tier list. And here we've got all the tiers. I'm just going to go through and explain them really quick so that you know what to be expecting here. So the first tier up here is Godly. The Godly tier is reserved only for the best of the best. This has to impress me a lot, has to be one of my favorites, basically has to pass all of the tests. Next up is Great. This is a Pokemon that I really like. It just needs a little bit of that kick, a little bit of that secret ingredient
of my secret ingredient soup
to get it up to the Godly tier, but I still think it's a really good Pokemon, and I really see why people like it. Next up is Good. These ones are sort of like a good Pokemon design. They probably could have done a little bit more to improve on it, but I still see why people would like it, and it's still an overall good Pokemon. Then Average is a tier where I think it's a little bit below what should be expected from a Pokemon starter. It should have been a little bit better, and I think they should have improved on it a lot. And finally, Delete It means exactly what it says. You just have to delete this from the game and give me a new design. I just don't like it at all, and it should have been a mistake. That's what I think for the last tier. So, these are in no particular order down here, as you can see, so I'm just going to go ahead and start the tier list now. So first up, we got Ivysaur. I think Ivysaur is one of those Pokemon that suffers from middle stage syndrome. It really just doesn't have enough to make me think it's going to evolve into Ivysaur, and it doesn't have as little to make me think it evolved from Bulbasaur, so I'm going to have to put it in the average tier. I'm really not a fan of Ivysaur. Next up, we got Dartrix. I think Dartrix is actually a pretty good design. It just doesn't look as good as a lot of other second stage evolutions, so I think it deserves good. Next up, we got Torracat. This is a really good second stage evolution. I think they did it perfectly, meshing between Incineroar and Litten. Next up, we got Incineroar, also a great pick. I think I'm going to put a little bit ahead of Torracat, though, because it's a little bit better than Torracat, I think, in terms of design. I do think that the two legs, like the standing up sort of design, was a good idea, and they should have kept that. Next up, we have Thwackey. Thwackey, I think, is a great design. I think it's a little bit better than Torracat, actually. It looks really good, and I actually really like the name Thwackey. It sounds really nice, so I like this Pokemon design very much. Next up, we have Rillaboom. I think Rillaboom is actually good. It looks really nice, and it looks really cool. I just can't with the hair. It just looks really weird, and I think it's a little bit of a stretch from Thwackey to Rillaboom. Just a little bit of a stretch to see how they evolved from there to there. Next up, we have Sobble's evolution. I actually forgot its name. Wow. But I think that this is a completely average design. It just doesn't do it for me. I think they should have improved on it a lot. Next up, Inteleon. I think Inteleon is a good design. Again, I'm not a really big fan of the Sword and Shield starters. I think they should have done a lot better, but I think Inteleon is one of the good ones. I think I'm actually going to put it ahead of Rillaboom, maybe even ahead of Dartrix. I think it's very close to great, but it needs a little bit of improvement. Croconaw, another one that suffers from middle stage syndrome. It's just a good one. I just don't like the caveman look to it. A little better than Rillaboom, I think, but overall just a little bit too second stagey. Wartortle, delete it. Hate it. Just no. I don't like this design. Why does it have wings? It's a turtle. Its tail looks so beefy and weird. I just really don't like Wartortle. A lot of people like Wartortle. They think that it's a perfect match for Squirtle. I really like Squirtle and Blastoise, but Wartortle I think is just a really bad design. Bayleaf, great design. I think it's a better than Torracat. Not better than Thwackey, but Bayleaf is a really good design. They should have gone with that for the next evolution, which I'm going to talk about once we come to there. Chespin is also a great design. I think it's a little bit worse than Bayleaf, though. Or even Torracat. So Chespin is a really good design. It's pretty cute. and I think that it deserves that spot. Fennekin, I think it's a good Pokemon. It's sort of like just an average Pokemon in my opinion. It's like not great, it's not good. It's like good. It's just a fine Pokemon. All right. Next up, we have Decidueye. It's almost godly. I think I'm going to put it in the godly category. Very low godly category. Decidueye, just amazing design. I really like the sort of Robin Hood-esque look to it. Just really perfect. Excuse me. Next up, we have Grookey. Grookey, also very close to godly. I'm going to put it like a little bit above Thwackey here. Grookey looks amazing. I love this thing when I saw it, but after I saw its evolutions, I loved Thwackey, and then Rillaboom I just really, the Rillaboom ruined this line for me, but I think that Grookey was a great start. Scorbunny, I think is good. It's not great, it's not bad, it's just okay. Next up, Scorbunny's evolution. I'm gonna say a little bit worse than Scorbunny, actually. They should have done a better job on that one. Sobble, very average. I think it's even worse than its first stage. I just really don't like its design. It looks like it has pipes coming out of its body. Just don't like it. Mudkip's evolution, I'm gonna say good, maybe like here. I think I like Marshtomp. It looks pretty good. It just suffers from that middle stage syndrome again. Swampert, I think, is a really, really great design. It looks really sleek, but it needs a little bit of that kick to get it into godly. Grotle, I think, is very average. I don't really like how they made the design, but it still looks pretty okay. I think it's a good middle stage. It just needs a little bit more for me to think of it as a good or great Pokemon. Prinplup, I think, is a good Pokemon. I love Empoleon. I'm a big fan of Empoleon, but Prinplup doesn't really do it for me. Even though it's a good second stage, I think it's just like in the middle there. Servine, pretty average. Don't really think it has a good mesh to Snivy. Next up, Pignite, delete it. Hate it. Looks like it has a leotard, just doesn't do it for me. It looks like way too buff. Just isn't a good way to evolve from a nice cute Pokemon like Tepig. Just really don't like it. Emboar is a good design. I really like Emboar, actually. Its shiny looks amazing, and I think it's a really good design from Game Freak. They improved on Pignite a lot. Duat is a great design. I love Duat. This thing is really good, and I think they should have just continued with that for the next evolution. Quilladin, delete it. Again, looks a lot like Pignite. Just looks fat and not like a good second stage evolution. Suffers from that middle stage syndrome. Delphox, I think, is an average Pokemon. It just looks like it has like earwax coming out of it, and I'm not a fan of that. A lot of people don't really like it, so that's why I don't really like Delphox. Frogadier is a good design. I'm gonna put it maybe like here. I like Frogadier because its evolution is really good and its pre-evolution is really good, but it itself gets a little bit too mishmashy. But I think it's a really good starter, or sorry, not starter, middle evolution from a starter. This one is gonna be a little controversial. Delete it. Hate Cinderace, dude. This thing sucks. I hate it. I don't know why they made it like this design. It just doesn't look good for me. Like, it has 3 ears. The middle thing on it just doesn't look good. I'm just really not a fan. Its Dynamax form, I hate its Dynamax form. It just completely changes. I don't like it. Blastoise, godly, dude. This thing is amazing. I love Blastoise. Blastoise is one of the best final water evolutions, in my opinion. Next up, Bulbasaur, great design. I think they really hit a home run here with their first grass design. Blaziken, I'm gonna say good. I really am not a fan of Blaziken. It just looks a little bit too weird. It's supposed to be a rooster or a chicken, and it just doesn't do it for me. I just don't really like it. Next up, we have Fennekin's evolution. I'm gonna put it here in the good category. I think it's like pretty average. Brionne is also very average. I just don't think it looks good. It suffers a lot from that middle stage syndrome. Charizard is a great Pokemon. It gets overrated a lot, but I still like it. I mean, I think there's a reason for people liking it so much. Charmander is a great design. I think it's a little bit worse than Bulbasaur, just because the lizardy design I don't really like it, but it's still pretty good. Charmeleon, I'm not really a big fan of Charmeleon. I'm gonna say it's a little bit worse than Rillaboom, actually, because it just, I don't know, it also suffers a little bit from middle stage syndrome, and I don't like how it just has one horn. I think it would have been better if they'd made it have 2 horns just like Charizard does. Chestnut, very average. I really don't like the Kalos starters except for Greninja, so yeah. Chikorita, delete it. This was coming from the beginning. Chikorita, hate it. Hate it. Just doesn't look good and is the worst Johto starter. Next up, Chimchar. I'm going to put it in the good category. I really don't like its hair, but other than that, I like the rest of Chimchar. I like how it has that fire tail just like Charizard did, and it's like a throwback. Combusken is sort of good. I think I'm going to put it like right there. It's a little bit better than Blaziken in my opinion, actually. Just doesn't look good after it evolves, but right now it's okay. Cyndaquil is a great design. I'm going to put it maybe like right there-ish. Yeah, I think that's a good place to put it. A very good design for Cyndaquil. I think they did a really good job for that. Next up, we have Empoleon. Best final stage evolution and best starter Pokemon of all time. Empoleon is amazing. A lot of people think that Empoleon sucks, and I just really don't like that they say that. For some reason, I don't know why people don't see that this thing looks amazing. Like, it's literally a steel water type. Like, that's such a unique combo, and I love it. It looks so cool. Next up, we have Feraligatr. It's a great design. I like it. Froakie, it's sort of average-ish and good. I think it's a little bit better than Frogadier here. But I think they should have done a little bit better. It looks cute and it's a good starter, but I think they should have done a little bit better. I don't really like how that blue tone looks. I think they should have made it a little bit darker. Greninja is a great design. I don't think it's godly yet, but it's very high in the great design. It looks so cool. You know, it was voted as the most popular Pokemon in Japan, so I think it deserves that. Grovyle is a great design. Love Grovyle. I actually like Grovyle much more than Sceptile. Infernape, godly, but very low godly. I think that it deserves godly just because I love how it has fire in its head. Like, its head is on fire. It looks amazing. Litten is a great design. I'm going to put it very low in the great designs, but I really like Litten. I'm actually using Litten in my Ultra Moon Nuzlocke, and if you guys want to check that out, I'll also link that in the info card right now. But I'm using a Litten right now, so he's doing pretty nice, and I like his design as well. Meganium, delete it. Worst ever. Hate it. Literally, it evolves from something as cool as Bayleaf that had so much potential, and they just destroyed it for me. It just doesn't look good. I don't know why they did that. They made him have antenna instead of a leaf and made it bloom into a flower. It just doesn't look good at all. Next up, we have Monferno. Monferno looks amazing. I'm going to put it just under Grovyle here. It looks so good. Monferno, really, really nice second stage. This is how they should do it for every Pokemon. Mudkip is a great design. I'm going to put it just above Litten. Oshawott, I'm saying maybe a little bit worse than Emboar. I think they should have done a better job just with its overall look, because it doesn't really look convincing that it evolves into Duat because its entire body is white. They should have made it that nice turquoise blue like in Duat's. Piplup. I really like Piplup. Maybe like just a little bit more than Mudkip here. Piplup is a really cute and a classic, and also it evolves into my favorite, so I'm going to say it's in the great category. Next up, we have Popplio. It's very average. I just don't really like it. Primarina as well, just under Popplio. I really don't think that those Pokemon are great. I've always viewed them as very average. Maybe I'll put them a little bit higher because Popplio is a little bit cuter, but I really don't think they are good designs. Quilava is a great design. I'm going to put it right below Thwackey. Next up, we have Rowlet. I'm going to put him a little bit above Piplup. I think Rowlet is a great design. I played through Sun my first time with Rowlet, and Rowlet was actually my first ever starter in any Pokemon game, so there you go. We're almost nearing the end here. We have Samurott next, and I'm going to be putting Samurott really high in the great category. I think Samurott is so good. It looks amazing. They went from a 2-legged to a 4-legged design, which I think is really unique, and Samurott just looks really cool. The only thing is, like, it's not very believable that it evolves from Duat, but I still just think it's amazing. Sceptile, I'm going to put in the great category, very low, actually, because I just don't like Sceptile. It looks like it has a Christmas tree on its tail. I'm actually going to put in the average. This is extremely controversial, but I'm gonna put it in the good category because I just don't like it. It doesn't do it for me, but it's still very cool, as people say. Sir Viper, I'm putting maybe a little bit below Piplup. It's okay, you know, it's great. I like it. Snivy is also really cool. I'm gonna put it maybe right under Blaziken. I think they should have done a little bit of a better job with it, but I think it still looks really cool. Definitely a lot better than its second stage evolution, Servine, but it's still a really cool Pokemon. Squirtle, I'm putting it in the great category, very, very high up. Squirtle, I think, again, they hit it right out of the park with this one for their first water starter. Looks amazing. All of the Gen 1 starters are great. I really like them. Next up, we got Tepig, also in the great category. I'm going to put it a little bit lower, but Tepig is so cute, and it had so much potential, but they just, they really shot themselves in the foot with Pignite there. But really, though, this had a really good start. They just should have made it line a little bit better and not given a leotard to its second evolution. Torchic. Torchic is a good Pokemon. I think it just doesn't do it for me because it's a chicken, and I really don't think that should have been the starter, but you know, it's fine. I like its design. It looks pretty cute. Torterra, Godly, it's going right up there, but definitely better. Oh, actually, Infernape is better than Decidueye. But, dude, Torterra is insane. And you can see up here that Torterra, Infernape, and Empoleon are up here. I love the Sinnoh starters. They're all amazing, and that's why they're all in the Godly category. I really like them. Totodile is in the Godly category as well. Dude, Totodile is insane. I love this starter, dude. Totodile is so good. Croconaw was a little bit of a disappointment, but Feraligatr brought it back as well. But Totodile is just so cute, and I really like its design. Trico is in the good category as well. I just am not a fan of Trico. I love Grovyle, but I'm not a fan of Trico or Sceptile. I think Trico is because of its tail. It just doesn't look good. And Grovile's tail looks so sleek with those leaves, but then Sceptile and Trico's tails both have like weird gimmicks to them that I don't like. Turtwig is a great Pokemon. I really like it. I think its design is so good, and they improved on it a lot with Torterra. But they think they should have done a better job with Grotle here. Typhlosion is also a good Pokemon. I think that they should have gone for the two-legged design for this one. They should have kept it with the four-legged design with Quilava. But I think that Typhlosion is still good. Its 3D model sucks, though, which I'm really disappointed about. But other than that, it's pretty good. And the final Pokemon here, we've got Venusaur. I'm putting it in the good category, or maybe a little bit higher. In just below the great category. I don't really like Venusaur because I think it's just a little bit too big. I like Blastoise and Charizard because they both look like nice, strong Pokemon, but then Venusaur just looks like a truck, and I think it just, you know, did a little bit big on the size part. I think they should have made it a little bit more sleek and cool, but other than that, I really like Venusaur as well. So overall, looking at all of these Pokemon, I think my favorite generation of starters is definitely Sinnoh. As you can see here, we've got Turtwig up here, we've got all three final evolutions in the Godly category, which is so good. And we've got all of the other starters from Sinnoh, which are Piplup, of course, in the great category, and Chimchar, which is in the good category here. And Monferno also, he's here in the great category somewhere. So they're all doing really, really good. I think Sinnoh is definitely my favorite. And for my least favorite starters of all, I don't know what it is based on this chart here, but I'm pretty sure that my least favorite is going to be either Kalos or Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield just like disappointed me a lot. I really didn't like their starters except for Thwackey and Grookey. Other than that, they're all really bad. I think they should have done a much better job. But here, these are my total tier list for the favorite starter evolutions, including starting, mid, and final stage evolution. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe.